wrong son in that.
No, my.
Oh my God, he got
Colin, how we look? Are we doing okay?
Check.
Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Sean Tank Top. You are in the back room of the Burlington Bar. We have just completed the last season, the last episode of the first season. We're not quite there yet. We got at least a couple more. The season finale of season 1 of House of the Dragon, y'all. How'd you feel about it? Woo. God damn, this one.
the wrong son.
Oh my God, we're doing walk hard. Now, oh my God, now we're gonna look at Luke. Guess what, Luke? Now you're gonna have to be double great. You're gonna have to be double great for the both of us. James. I don't know any of these fuckers' names. It's all good. So anyway, we're getting ready to do a recap of this here episode. A wild episode, a sad episode, like an episode that had a lot of parallels, like a lot of callbacks to other episodes, like previous and stuff like that I was able to catch. But before we get on, let's just introduce everybody. To my left, it's Emil. Everybody make some noise for Emil, everybody. How you feeling, baby?
My nigga Luke right now, shout out to my nigga RX though. Yo, hey, what Fly May Never Die?
When Fly May Never Die. Oh my God. I'll speak to that for sure. And we have ourselves. It's Morgan Drake, the green haired girl. You know where you love her. Everybody say hi to Morgan. How are you doing, Morgan?
Oh, I knew it was happening.
You knew it was gonna happen.
You knew the whole time and you didn't tell us.
Did you read the books?
No, literally, I will say this, like, as I've come to know from the very beginning, whenever I just get so easily telegraphed on Morgan's face what's going to happen. Like every time that Luke showed up, like Morgan would just go.
Bro, her face was so sad though.
Oh my God!
So I wasn't able to watch the entire episode without watching Morgan's reaction. Like every time he entered the screen, she like somebody stole her puppy.
Oh my God!
That's why I sit at the front so no one can see me.
There you go. Absolutely.
No one sees the
Right
back
on.
of my head and I don't spoil.
And we thank you for your service. Another person we thank for their service over here. It's a good Dr. Dustin. Grace, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling, man?
We got a lot of dragon action going on.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, a lot of dragon.
But also, look, can we make some noise for like Dustin's shoes tonight, though?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Put that motherfucker on.
No, I mean, like, so this one was. How do we feel? Let's go through that. It's like, and we'll start with Dustin. Dustin, how did you feel about this finale? How you feeling coming off of this finale?
Just checking on live here. I love this season. It's weird. I'm definitely more on Team Black, but I think I had a lot more fun with like the Hightower Team Green reaction last episode to the King's death.
Sure.
Whereas like this episode was like really grisly and sad and had like a weird like baby miscarriage.
Like a lot of foreboding and stuff like that too.
The whole thing. Like
Yeah.
This episode, I mean, we knew it was coming because like there had to be some sort of like catalyst for like the next couple seasons.
Yeah.
And RX, man, RX is a bad boy. Like he
Was.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
I said was.
He's the definition of fuck around and find out. You don't burn the side of the largest dragon.
But you can try though.
Oh, he
did.
tried.
He tried.
He tried.
Try and die.
Try and die.
Well, you know,
It's a little bit of that.
In the game, when you play the Game of Thrones, when do you die? That's true.
That's true.
They
Yeah.
play the House of the Dragon. It's a different game.
I was hoping it was a different game, but apparently, like, it's a much more gnarly game. Morgan, what did you think about this here episode?
Well, I am a chronically online girly, and I had been like monitoring because people had like, oh, it leaked, and it seemed like everyone in America except for me had watched it.
Right.
I was like avoiding spoilers, but I did notice that the Daenerys stands, which is the Rhaenyra Daemon
I thought that
shippers.
nickname was Raymond. That was a
I wish it
Because everybody loves Raymond.
That makes more sense. But no, they went with Rhaenyra. They were so angry at this episode, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys just literally want like perfect baby angels versus mustache twirling villains. On
That's
the
not-
show.
That's what I mean, but that's not what the show's gonna give you.
No,
That's not
I
what the
love it.
show is
I
interested
love
in doing.
that it's great. I love that it's messy. I love Damon's a shit, and they're so mad that he choked his wife, and like, but he's a shit.
Well, I mean, like not the cool kind of choking. You know what I mean? Like there can be room for some good choking. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
but for every like Damon, there's a sapphire fucking eye patch man. Damon. So like there is a duality like.
Right. Like I said, no. Like Aemond is like I think I said last week. He's like the one guy, the one motherfucker in Westeros who can make Damon look like chaotic neutral. You know what I mean? Like that's like the only motherfucker that can do it, and he can do it. You know what I mean? He earned his spurs tonight with
Yeah,
that.
no, I heard like everybody was so mad, and it was a great episode. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I actually love the change where it's two young cousins, nephew, uncle, whatever.
These two nephews, cousin, brother, these two relatives.
It's messy. They grew up together. They have beef, and it's basically the first shot in the war. Besides Beesbury, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Very
Yo,
Never
go with
forget,
Daryl.
he was the first battle in the Battle of the.
He was the first bloodshed. In the
Yeah.
Right.
But no, in the Fire and Blood, it's like, so no, Aemond was out for blood. He was gonna do it, and it's like, no, it was just they have messy history.
He just wanted an eyeball. He's like,
One
But
eyeball.
like, what made it so fire is the fact that no pun intended. I
Right.
wasn't trying to do that shit. It'd be way funnier if I was trying. I promise. But like, the fact that like he was like, "Hey, Dragon, fuck with me, fuck with." Dragon's like, "Nah, I don't fuck with you." And then Dragon like killed the thing. He was like, "Damn, my dragon is sweet." Like he was like, "Oh, gee." He was like, I saw a look at his face. My mom would be mad as hell at me. Like he had that look. Like, she gonna be pissed. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that he's gonna have to lean into it and be like, yeah, I meant to do that, and that's why the legend will be.
He's the kinslayer.
Yeah, because he's either gonna have to lean into the kinslaying, or he's gonna have to like try and get. And I don't think, because it's again with Allison, where it's like the king said he wanted Aegon on the throne. Who would believe her? No witnesses. With this one, who's gonna believe Crazy Pants Aemond didn't mean to do it? No one would believe
But
him.
also, like, bro, imagine like you at a bar, you know what I'm saying? You chilling, you doing your thing. You probably a little schmid at, you know what I'm saying? And then the most beautiful person, you know what I'm saying, pull up on you. You like, you drunk as fuck. You say some cool ass shit. You end up walking out with the most beautiful person everyone in the bar has ever seen. And you did it on accident. You're like, yeah, I totally was. I burped.
She misheard you and you thought it was a fire line.
Like, yeah, I burped and she was like, I'm into that. And I was like, y'all totally burped on purpose. Like, basically, he murdered his cousin on accident on purpose.
Right. What did you think about the episode? I know that we were working working behind there, so it's like
I saw black people and I was excited. My nigga Carly's still here, y'all. He's still here. His dread's still looking good. He was at Seafood a couple days, a couple moves, but the line is still on point. That's right. That's right. Also, he was like, "Damn, my brother died. He do be tweaking." He
looks like he was ready to go. It's like, oh, Damon, he's always been a trifling motherfucker.
It was funny at first. He's like, "What?" And then they're like, "Well, he called the military." God, he was.
I was like, they was like, well, David could have said, he was like, that's a nigga that would do that. Yeah.
We are missing like the Pineapple Express like diner scene of this whole thing, like where they're just like they're smoking like a J, they're just like, yo, and then like Damon came out and he was talking crazy, like he was like yelling, he literally goes, bastards! And then I was like, oh shit, and then everybody was like, what's gonna happen? And then he totally cut his head in half, made him look like a Canadian from South Park after that shit. It was very, very crazy.
I would have been like in that same conversation, like, my nigga, that shit sound right. You said, what?
Oh my God. I mean, I thought the thing about this episode that I thought was really interesting that I was able to catch was a crazy amount of visual like motifs and callbacks from previous episodes, like a bunch of like the meeting at Dragonstone with Cyrax, it's like Otto.
I don't girl no more, big bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
Otto's got some motherfucking balls. He's like showing up there, knowing full well what's gonna happen.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of like his tenacity has kind of always been like a thing that he's like, yeah, I'm willing to go there. Like, I'm dusty and musty as fuck. I look like I'm werewolf, like mid-transformation, like all the time and everything like that. But like, I'm just gonna go over and I'm gonna square up on him. And it was very, it was tense. It called back to that. And then we also had like a really, really difficult birthing scene. Very similar to episode 1, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just like all of these like things that we were kind of recalling from like previous episodes, like to make it that it was like it was almost like reinforcing the fact that this has always been what's going to happen. Like ever since Viserys has sat on the throne, this was always going to happen. It's the inevitability of these two houses going in for it. And that was very powerful to
I
me.
like the idea that like when like Otto pulls up though, like clearly she pulls up with a dragon, be like, oh shit, she can do whatever. Like in the last episode, she can say one word and this whole shit is ablaze. You know what I mean? But he's like, yo, you got a dragon, I got the realm behind you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
at this point, the entire he mentioned all these things that like give lead to like the idea that the whole realm is in alignment with the idea and the fact that he is the true heir to the throne. So no matter what you do right now, there's still an entire 7 realms.
He was outgunned, but he didn't say she's the fucking steel this time. He didn't say that. I mean, like he felt so confident even in the face of that.
You know, I'm really excited for the next time jump where like Alicent and Rhaenyra are going through menopause. So we can stop having birth scenes. Because I'm tired of shit. We've had like 9 birth scenes.
There's been a bunch.
I get it.
The Queen Alicent like had her last child in her 40s, so you got to have it
Here we
a
go.
long time.
Yeah. No, I mean that one was gnarly. I mean, like, and that's one thing that it's difficult to watch, but I appreciate it because I think that there's a relatively sanitized kind of view of like how these things go down and the conditions in which they would go down, and like for women, even the highest born of women and stuff like that. And so, I mean, as much as it sucks, as much as like I'm like, yo, like I'll pay double for my HBO Max account if I don't have to fucking like go through that like type of a scene again. But I do think that it is kind of necessary.
Oh no, the birthing scene, I really liked it because it just showed why body autonomy is important. She knew she could have like tried to do that birth. She could have let the maesters at her, and she knew she wouldn't survive. The kid was gonna die no matter what.
Right.
And she saw what happened to her mom, and she's like, we just have to get this done. We have to get this stillbirth done.
Yes.
We're just getting it done, and we're not going to be sentimental while it's happening, and I will grieve afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, because when she was like, just get it fucking out of me.
The fact that she's the one that wrapped it with the silent sister,
Yeah.
that was super powerful.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was
Morgan, based off of the book though, did you expect to see a lizard tail or a dragon tail?
I love the whole Targaryen like histories of like our Targaryens. Like when we say blood of the dragon, do we mean like actual dragons?
They were literally they're not only they uncle fuckers, they're dragon fuckers as well. You know what I mean?
On the tapestries, you see them like coupling with dragons. And I do love that once in a while a dragon baby falls out of a Targaryen. I love that shit.
Right.
I don't know if they're ready to go there yet.
Right.
So I'm just like,
I remember
I didn't think I was gonna get it, but it would have been cool.
I can't remember if it's like season 7 or season 8. There's one scene where like Drogon is like pulling up, he's like walking up and he like starts like kind of smiling while he's like do some like business and shit. And I was like, how you dragons can probably pull up on a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like he pulled up, making sense, and then he also was like, how you doing? And I was like, all right, so look, if she like down the clown, he fuck around dropping off some Drogon. You know what I'm saying?
Dropping up some Drogon, is that what we're gonna call it? Oh my god. I mean, yeah, like really powerful, like a lot of stuff. I mean, just the dread. You know what I mean? We've talked about Balerion, the Black Dread. This was the finale of the Black Dread. Like this was just like I kind of thought that somebody was we were gonna lose a life at some point, and R.I.P.
That's fucking scene.
Yeah.
But yo, do we think someone's gonna well, I'm sure that the dragon that like Damon spend a lot of time with will be finally riding. But do we think that's gonna be like the fucking like adversary for Vagar's like might, or is like just like his dragon and like Emil just like destined to be?
He's definitely. I think that's definitely how he sees it. He's just like, we have to just at the very least keep checking in. Like it's like You still down? If we can find somebody to link you up, you're good? You're good? Okay, all right, cool. We got you down. For another year. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Great.
Yeah,
That's kind of what that was, you know.
All the dragons on Dragonstone, I feel like Damon's gonna try and like sort of be like.
He's like he follows all
The
the
thing is, though, that like Matt Smith is not that good of a singer to like beckon this dragon. I was like, hold on, like it's a.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was like it's 7 o'clock.
It was cute.
I was like,
I liked it.
I'm saying, bro, go ahead. He was like, baby girl, you my world. Taurus.
No. It was very sweet. I love this scene. You know what I mean?
It's been on fire. That's when you must get it wet.
That's true.
Also, imagine all of your friends and family are dead. That's basically when you're an ancient dragon. Everyone you've ever known is dead. And then, like, imagine if everyone who knew that song, 7 o'clock, if everyone who knew that song was dead, and somebody walks up to you and starts singing it, and you're like, you know the songs of the of my people, like
Literally, the song of my people.
yeah, and I'm just like, I feel like, you know, dragons are very intelligent, and they might be sentimental.
And they haven't heard "Baby Girl, You My World" in so long.
Yeah.
Like, gee, you singing "Baby Girl"?
Like, what? How do you know that? Who taught you that?
Do we know what the name of that dragon was?
They said it in that closed caption.
Or-
I saw 5 scenes in this episode. Well, like,
Don't quote
that
me.
one I did see the closed
Right,
caption
yeah.
for. Like, you know, it was like Girl Mom or some shit. Either way,
I would.
y'all read the books and y'all see they help us.
Vermithor.
Thor? Okay, yeah.
Come on, nigga, Jeremy.
I'm with that. No, I mean like it wasn't. But like I wouldn't think I'm waiting for it to be like for David to be like an MC at like a throwback record. Like, hello, it's David Targaryen. Welcome to your place for Valyrian throwbacks over here on 91 Dragonstone .9. You know, whatever the fuck it was. Or something. I mean, because he was. I mean, like, and that was it was cool. I mean, like that's been a couple. The same thing with when Aemon claimed Vhagar. Like, the wonder of that scene was good, and we kind of got a little bit of that with that one here and stuff like that.
He was doing counts, and he was saying it was 14-3. So now they're 13-3.
Yeah, right.
They got a couple of eggs in the wind.
But like, he was like rounding up though because some of those like dragons did not have owners. So he was like, bro, once we get somebody to ride it,
It's gonna be fun for season 2, 3. I don't know. I'm excited about that journey.
About finding riders. Yeah, that's gonna be.
All I know is like, look, my man's just like, my mama told me to come here and tell you this thing. And I was like, well, guess what? The uncle already here. He's talking real spicy about you. He was like, well, look, if you ask me, I cut his eye out, so he really a bitch to me. Then he saw him put the sapphire in, and he said, "That's a sapphire." Well, then, you know what, bro? I'm gonna holler at you later, G. So I did hear this one part about the book, G. Like, I know parts about the book because I got to keep up with Morgan. In the book, they say it was Shorty who was like, he was like, look, I married one of your daughters or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got one eye, but I make up for that in Hort. And so they was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna betroth my daughter to you. That's why when he put like, you know what I'm saying, Jacerys was up, he's like, Luke was up, he's like, gee, you gonna marry one of my daughters? He was like, nah, my cousin Black, G, I'm fucking. He was like, all right, say less. But then like in the book though, he's like, all right, well, check it. If you can't do that, then I'm not fucking with you. Your mom's a bitch, and I ain't a dog. Go crazy. So he leaves out, bro. And he say him and like Aemon have a little back and forth. But then the chick that like he wasn't betrothed to, as far as Aemon goes, she jealous because like his sister got chose, right? Mm-hmm. So she like, look, well, you know what I'm saying, you finna marry my sister, but I heard the dude who walking off with his dragon took your eye and your balls, bro. That's why Aemon got spicy. He was like, look, he was like,
again, maesters. They're like, let's find a woman to blame this on.
Oh my god.
The classic maester, crusty old, musty old, bitch ass maester move. When they're
look though, this nigga ain't gonna listen to his mom say everything. That's how he move in this world, this planet. That's why he like knows. It's a lot of shit to unpack. It's a lot of Oedipus things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and mind you, I'm not blaming the woman for the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, Luke got his life taken and A-Rex,
yeah.
But there is a conversation to be had that Aemon's like ego is so fragile that even the conversation. Because mind you, we saw him at the dinner table. He was mad when the nigga chuckled and they were
about a pig.
In general. So the idea that like maybe he was like somebody like made a comment, he was like,
they placed a lady, one of the Baratheon daughters near Aemon on purpose to. It was a troll on book readers because they're like, oh, are you gonna do the thing where it's like the lady's comment was the thing that started it all off?
Right. You say Vhagar is a lady though. That's how you...
Okay, actually, Arax, who I don't know if it's a male or a female. I think they're too young. You only know a dragon is also dragons. I think are gender fluid. They're only she dragons when they drop eggs, but I think throughout their life they can change their gender.
Fine.
So no, dragons are awesome. They're a little bit more involved than us, and so I think whatever. I don't know what Eric's gender, and I don't want to presume.
We can't do that. We can't perceive that.
Eric's burnt Vagar's face,
She was upset.
and you know what? She had every right. I mean, he's a little pissant dragon. So she just chomped it.
Pissant is crazy.
It was a big old chomp. I mean, it looked like I caught it from the corner of my eye. That was gnarly.
That was like drunk eating Takis at 3 a.m. falling out of your mouth, and you're like,
look, man, me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little nigga, but a lion. Hearted G, that dragon should have had the heart of a dragon. It had the heart of a lion, and it lost to a dragon. But either way, bro, everybody was flying. They were listening. They was in or weeping.
And they foreshadowed this whole thing.
Yeah.
Damon actually had said that, that like they were talking about their numbers, and Damon said something along the lines of like, one dragon can take out this, and this, but like another dragon can take out that dragon.
Yeah.
So like that.
That's in the episode?
It's in the episode.
I'll smoke a big blunt later and watch it though, I promise.
Yeah, there is a line that definitely foreshadowed on like, we're losing a dragon. Like,
We lost one, G. What we just met.
Yeah.
I didn't even get his first name or last name. G. I was like, Eric.
Eric's.
Is
Is it Arix or Eric's?
Speaking of Arix, though, shout out, that guy's like a low-key MVP who smuggled out and delivered the crown. That was so fucking satisfying. That was satisfying. Hey, talking about it like all goddamn season and shit like that, to see that crown placed upon her head. Fucking finally.
I just felt like
it felt so fucking good. Like to see it.
1 second. This is the 5th scene I saw. And so I was waiting for 1 second where I was like, Damon was like, did you steal my brother's crown? I was like, gee, I brought it to you. He's like, nah, you stole it when you brought it to me.
Right.
So I'm glad they went a very positive approach.
He's like, wait, did you take that off his dead body?
Right.
No, it was Diane, bro.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like that is like that's like a cutscene that like I want to see like a spy like jumping around like type of a thing that I want to see over there like with him for sure. That's what I'm saying. Right. Literally. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I know. That is the whole caper that I would love to have seen or whatever. But it was very fucking powerful. It was just very powerful.
Well, he already smuggled greenies out of
Yeah.
I think he did it at the same time.
That's true. Oh,
This guy's coming for fucking Davos Seaward's crown as far as the best smuggler in Westeros history. That's the guy. I'm sure.
He's like a white woman named Crown.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But he
he's Westeros Wayfarer. He's smuggling people everywhere.
he actually is played by two people.
Okay.
I thought every twin was the same nigga twice.
Right. Was it double?
Those are not twins.
They're twins.
No, Eric and Eric.
No, I think they're not like a special effect. Like
Tyler and Jason are.
Right. If we have let's talk about favorite scenes and then we'll kick it off to the crowd. Do we have a favorite scene?
Well, I think for me, it's not so much a favorite scene. My favorite aspect was watching Rhaenys weaponize her the patriarchy because she is her husband still lives. He's sickly, but he still lives. She didn't have to choose sides yet because she's leaning on the fact that I have to wait to see what Corley says. But if she wanted to declare a side, she would. But she knew she had that she had the privilege to not bend the knee and not get, because she's like, well, I have to wait till my husband, if you were bending the knee, I have to she never says that, but you know that's kind of the implication.
Sure.
And I loved it. And then she's like, okay, now that I got Corley's, I'm like, here's what we're doing. And it's like,
oh, and also I do love that off the rip, as soon as he wakes up, Corlys is making kind of dirty sex jokes at his wife, after all this time, goes well, somebody who falls asleep on Kingsguard watch should be whipped. But you're not a man. You know what I'm
she's
saying? We can do the whip. So he's like,
you've been gone for 6 years, motherfucker. Where were you?
Hey, this motherfucker hard right now, man. I'm in that scene.
No, and I just loved how she just sat back, observed, and it was Rhaenyra's behavior that won the Valarians to their side because like Rhaenys is like, oh no, I've been looking at her because I'm gonna vet Corlys. We're vetting who we back, and I've been staring at her. I've been watching what she's doing.
She sized her up, yeah.
Yeah, and Daemon's being a little crazy, but she's able to stand against Daemon. And I think that was really cool. That like
all those little side-eye looks
Oh.
were so fucking
That was
fun.
right.
I just loved her the entire
Side-eye was
That
strong.
was, like,
Side-eye was
I just heard it, but that was fire.
basically, yeah, everything involving Rhaenys this episode.
Rhaenys has been one of the more fascinating characters, definitely.
She's
with
just good at this.
Yeah, right.
And she's like, no, I don't have to declare a side right away. Because luckily I'm a woman. And she's like, that shit fucks me in the ass most 90% of the time, but right now that shit is fire.
It's the Titanic scenario where it's like children and women first. It's like, cool, we'll take whatever W we can get, whatever few W's we can fucking get. Like now, you know?
Yeah, get out of my way.
Right, absolutely. How about you, D?
It was pretty cool that Daemon wasn't there when Corlys showed up because, like, you know, then it was the scene with him being like, all right, cool, we're part of your team, because there is a reckoning that needs to happen with him, you know, beheading his brother, and then because like, you know, that's the whole fucking thing, you know, and eventually we'll maybe see if we ever see Laenor again, you know, that could be a thing.
I think because we learned, and I assumed when like Corlys went away, I was like, well, does he know about Laenor, that he's alive? Is he looking for him? Does he have an inkling? And no, okay, so this episode was like, no, both Rhaenys and, well, I don't know.
They think that he's dead.
They think that he's dead, but I don't know what Rhaenys thinks.
Sure.
Because she's like, we lost our children.
Yeah.
Right.
She doesn't say they're dead, but Corlys is like, our son is dead. I'm like, so Corlys definitely thinks he's dead.
Well, how the fuck you pull up to the family reunion like, I didn't die?
Well, no, I mean, like, we've talked about this before. Like, I think we're going to get like an Uncle Benjen moment potentially with Laenor for sure. Like, he's going to become
cool ass shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
It's like literally not in the books, which will make it way more awesome for everybody because it's like, who knows? Like, there's so many possibilities now that character is alive. I'm very excited.
What's your favorite?
Favorite scene? I have to say, I think my favorite scene, honestly, was watching. It was again echoed the first, like, the funeral scene in the first episode where they were having the funeral for the miscarried baby, and it was just so evocative of that first episode and just hammering home that cyclical. I can't talk right now. But like the cyclical nature of, and just like how kind of the inevitability, you know what I mean? Like this whole like that we were going to come to blows, we were going to find ourselves in this moment. She is now fully ascended and is carrying the weight of the series and carrying whatever good pieces of wisdom that she can from her father, you know what I mean? And so I thought that was very powerful. And it was done almost entirely without dialogue. And I was like, sure.
And it was so different.
And also, again, so fucking satisfying to see that crown on that goddamn blonde head. It was so fucking great. You know what I mean? But yeah.
But I also know I agree with that funeral scene where it's like instead of a mother and a child getting burned by a dragon, it's like, it's sad. You have a little baby, but like I think the second she started, she knew it was too early, and that's why she wouldn't let anyone touch her. She's like, no, don't try to help. Because when you try to help me, you're actually really trying to help the baby. Right. And this is going to be a stillbirth. This is going to be a miscarriage.
Right.
And like she knew that, but in Westeros, it's like, you know, take care of the baby first, and you have the mom.
Well, no, because they're keeping in mind the progeny of the heir, the kid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's just how it's just bred into like how they.
And so Rhaenyra, I
very powerful.
I don't like watching it, but I'm like, yeah, Rhaenyra,
I think people need to fucking
get that baby out of you. It's sad, but get that shit
out. And I think it is just better for people to just kind of be confronted with, like, even with a fantasy show. I mean, to be confronted with that reality, and everything like that. Not to get too topical, but like that is something like that we can even remotely approach that conversation in a dragon fantasy fucking show.
And there's literally
really
nothing
dope,
noble about dying in childbirth.
No.
When the mother could have lived.
That's real. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, there's also more foreshadowing earlier where Rhaenyra was like talking to Jace. She's like, "No, I don't want you going off because I am the queen. I am protector of the realm. You're my next in line.
Right.
And she lost 2 children this episode.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
real rough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah, 3
something.
more though. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
We didn't hear the name for the demon baby.
Wow.
And you know what I'm saying? We all know that motherfucking Luke wasn't built for battle. He was fucking 4'11".
Oh my
His
God.
dragon was fucking 3'11". You're not gonna make it. Aemon has a
Never
sapphire.
311. Never forget.
Never fucking forget.
Yeah,
But
no.
my favorite scene in the episode while Black was the fact that Corliss was like, "Hey, I'm back." And I don't know if I told y'all I'm Black in this show. I was like, I really enjoyed that line of dialogue. Also, my second part was like, man, Aemon was like, fuck. Yo, I was in a car accident one time in high school, and I remember like when the car went, I was like, I'm gonna be mad as hell at me. So, like, he murdered his cousin, and he was like, she gonna beat me up.
I do think that look on his face, we've all been there. We're like, oh no.
Like, no, it was like,
Yeah.
like a very tragic moment is happening, but it's like usurped by the idea that your mom will not hear what you're saying.
Like,
I
oh my
was
God,
like,
I'm gonna catch Dustin.
Yo, she's
Dustin
gonna take
ass
the
up and
other
let me
eye.
know. Yeah,
She's taking
right.
the other eye. Dude.
I better go get a Ruby
He
picked
said,
up.
he was like, bro, I told my cousin I would not leave you blind. I'm about to be blind when I get to the crib.
Right,
And
absolutely.
so like the fear from that only Allison could give Aemon, I was like, yo, that's fine. I've been there,
Right.
I've been there, dude.
That's amazing. I mean, again, I look forward to. I know that I know Dustin made a time jump joke, and that kind of triggered me because I was like, I don't want any more time jumps. I want to.
I get flashbacks.
I think at this point now that we really truly, because essentially kind of what this season kind of would essentially be kind of the same as if we had had like Robert's Rebellion kind of like compressed into a season to lead up to kind of give us all the context for the conflict in Game of Thrones. That's kind of what this sort of feels like, but I definitely I'm relishing at the prospect of us being able to slow down to really kind of explore how these characters kind of connect and everything like that. And so, yeah, I mean, like that's kind of what I'm excited for. I think that I'm ready to open it up to the.
Absolutely.
We're going to be a Mystaria, power to the people over here and shit like that. So we want to have, if anybody has a comment, question, concern, please come up to the mic, tell us your name, tell us where you're from. Sound up. Oh, we have our first questioner. What's going on, sir?
Yeah. Hello, this is Dr. O from Cleveland, Ohio.
Dr. O! Good doctor.
Yeah, so we got a real good look into Allison last week with her circle of Sims that are like
The Sip Circle.
yeah, who are like a bit too present for her. Little Larry, Krispy Kreme, and then,
That's Larry.
Little Larry.
and then this week we kind of went back to Rhaenyra, who has to deal with the very ambitious but emotionally distant, very abandoned her in her time of need with her childbirth, Daemon. She also had Sir
Defense
Laenor.
mechanism, Dr. O.
We also had Sir Laenor, who, a good man, but couldn't do what was needed to play in the game. So
Carl, Dr. O.
yeah, so we have Rhaenyra with a lot of absent men, Allison with a lot of very present men.
Interesting. I love that.
Who are we less jealous of?
Man, you know what? That's actually great observation. I'm like, yeah, Allison's the men are two in her business.
Hey, how you doing? You want me to kill that guy for you? I'll totally fucking kill that guy for you.
Kill that guy for you right now.
If I can come in like one PD, I'll kill like half the city for you. That'd be really cool if I could do that.
No, I think honestly,
Can I see your toes?
I would show him.
Keep your boots on. Keep your fucking boots. You can fly.
I am a Larry.
You can keep saying it, but you are not going to gain any more people. Be like,
I
I thought about it. Like that weird motherfucker, that weird feat with a motherfucker with like the super ableist.
He's
really
murdering
dope
his brother and father for your toes. Mind you, girlfriend crazy. We not yucking nobody's jump.
No.
That's romantic.
He definitely said toes before bros. That's for sure.
Okay, he did it for toes and a castle.
No, he did not. He did it for toes and an ankle.
Anyway, not to. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
No, about who has it worse, the absent men or the present men. You know, I'd rather an absent man because, like, honestly, it's putting Rhaenyra's feet to the fire where she's like, all right, you gotta rule. Swimming free, like, let's see what you can do. She's either gonna sink or swim, and that's really how you get the job, and you have to just.
Good job.
No, I mean, I think you're right about that, though. I mean, like, in a certain sense where she's like, you know, I mean, if we're going to be active, then everybody's going to be active. We're all going to be a part of this. Like, everybody's going out, and she was commanding people. I mean, that was the other thing about it. Like, watching the table light up and everything like that was fucking amazing.
No, that was
so
gorgeous.
cool, so insane. I mean, like, and there was like definitely like a bunch of like table workers and stuff like that who just went, oh. They're gonna get like a bunch of rich nerds. They're gonna be hitting them up, wanting to like, it's like, can we do that? Can we do this LEDs like in there? We can do that for sure, right? For like you know, like $500. Like that'll be fine, right?
I was legit designing it in my head.
You have to have been though. I mean, you got to think about how it's working. But like, no, but that was great. And just watching like where they're just taking stock in numbers and stuff like that, doing all the like really truly like thinking about it from a battle perspective was interesting.
But I mean, like when she was off birthing, she knew Damon was like gonna try and like get in there and get meddle with it, and that's why she was like, "Yo, Jace, nobody does shit. Jace, nobody does shit till I say it." He's like, "Okay," and then he ran out there, but Damon was still kind of trying to run shit.
Right.
But the second she was back in it, I think she did as well as could be expected because she wasn't expecting to be queen like today. She's
like and going through the things that she went through, like all like that was a tough week. You know what I mean? Like
but
that was a rough week.
It's going to make her a better queen. Like, I mean, Aegon isn't going to be made a good king because no one's going to actually make him rule. Really, it's very much the Joffrey and Tommen where it's like Tywin was going to rule,
right,
and Cersei was going to rule. And it's just kind of like that doesn't make a good ruler.
No.
Listen to your advisors, hire good people that will advise you well. But like at the end of the day, you have to actually do the job yourself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No, I mean I think Rhaenyra has it better than Alicent.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I feel like less jealous of the fact that like at least like with Rhaenyra, she can like tell people what her actual like ideas are, and they will be respected without question.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to like Alicent, like she's getting a lot of shit done that's like unbeknownst to her. But
behind
like,
the scenes.
when it comes to like an actual conversations, like you gotta do something for something. And like everyone, like mind you, like they can understand. There's a conversation we had that like you know what I'm saying. People, some people just like honorable, but like some people like honorable to like you know what I'm saying the queen that is actually like rightful heir to the throne. You got Damon who like they also just respect what Rhaenyra's doing, but also be like, now I can finally have an opinion in the realm and like keep shit.
Right,
and that's why Rhaenys fucks with her because she saw that, like she saw what was going on. She's like, okay, cool, you're not just like being like manipulated by these people in this room. And you're like, no.
I think Rhaenys and Damon is extra scared, but Rhaenys was worried that she would be more of her father's daughter, where it's peace at any cost.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like you're just letting people railroad you.
Yeah, like we don't need like a Biden right now. It's like no, it's like we're literally fighting against people that are trying to like actively, like proactively, like destroy.
Here's
like,
how I would be a bad queen. So,
right.
Like, this show actually made me like. This is why I thought the writing was really good in this episode because it made me. Oh, Morgan, you're not allowed to run the 7 kingdoms. Because when Otto was on that bridge and Damon was like, we're just going to fucking kill him, I was like, yeah, kill him. Then the war's over. Whatever. Just kill all these people.
Right.
But with Rhaenyra's restraint, won Rhaenys to her side because Rhaenys was observing.
Right.
And that restraint got the Valyrian fleet instead of the Valyrians going all like isolationist.
Right.
Which was the plan. To just be like, we're just going to stay out of it.
Saying it wasn't my war to start.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
Yeah.
No, that was cool.
And so I'm like, if I was Rhaenyra, I'd be like, yeah, Damon, chop everyone's head off. Cool. And then I would have never had House Valyrian's fleet, and we probably would have lost the war because we need a fleet. fleet. And
supply lines and all that stuff. You know.
I would have said the cars right there.
Exactly. That's why we're not allowed to rule.
I'm not built for this shit.
We're not built to rule. We're built for chaos.
I thought I was more tough. I guess I'm
Right.
I would be showing people my feet. I'd be setting
Oh,
shit
you
on
never been showing
fire.
your feet. For sure.
You're just Bobby Baratheon all day long. Just like,
Party king.
What's up, homie? What's your name? Where you from?
Hey guys, my name is German. I'm from Chicago.
What's up, Jared?
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
welcome back,
I really
buddy.
want to touch up on the fact that a lot of people are pointing out the fact that why didn't Rhaenys kill everybody when she had the chance? But, I mean, yeah, if you're a book reader, you know why, because it
Right.
didn't in the books like that.
Right.
But as a short reader, I'm really surprised that a lot of people didn't write in the fact that kinslaying's a thing in this world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge deal. I
It's
mean, like
huge.
that's why those moments are so big and seen as such crazy things. Like when you get a Tyrion in the highway.
Yeah, I just thought, like,
Yeah.
just communicate the fact that kinslaying's a thing, and,
Yeah.
this is why she didn't kill him, because she doesn't want to get cursed.
Wait, you're saying like kinslaying? Or
Kin-
Oh no,
Kin-
kinslaying.
Okay, wait. So you've been like, so the actor, like we see the last scene is like
Killing family like, gets your bloodline cursed, you know?
I think
Right.
they could have. I feel like they could have like really hammered
shooting this out
home.
of episode for sure.
Yeah, they should have hammered home like within the writing. Maybe like when Larry's confessed to Allison, she could have been like, "You're a kinslayer, aren't you scared of like a curse or something?"
That would've been a whole
Conversations.
crazy,
Yeah, conversations about like how very serious kinslaying is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they had done that, then you might have maybe understood why ratings
Yeah.
were. It's like, these are my cousin's
You know,
children.
now that you guys bring that up, like that's actually something that I think this series has tried to pack so much in that we really haven't even had the time to delve into Allison and her like devotion to the Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And-
such a
and-
crazy moment.
Which
where, like,
was really cool, and they glossed over that so quickly. And I'm just realizing that as we're trying to talk about this now. But then also the idea of like prophecy, and like they kind of do it with like Helena and Ceres, and to some extent Allison, who misheard the prophecy. You know, she's like people delegate. She's like a Nick to Barada, Aegon. Whatever. What I said the word. It's fine.
But even like just like the simple idea that like, yo, all right, so that's again for the Larry's episode where he like, it's like no reason murders his brother and dad were toast, but he's like, yo, like Allison's like, he tells her like, yo, I did the thing you asked me to do. She's like, you kinslay, that's crazy. My toes are like nervous right now. He's like, whoa.
They're literally curling right
And
now.
he's
It's
like,
like, go on.
And like, yeah, and it's like this whole back and forth. And then we get to the point where like Emil is like thinking about the fact that he actually, it's why like him being like, yo, Vhagar, listen to me. And I know these burn you in the face, but like I really fuck with you. Like do what I'm asking you to
Calm
do.
down.
And then
Calm
like,
down.
and then when his like dragon just like, yo, if you with me, you with me because of the murder this nigga. And like his dragon just like takes him on a fucking ride to like murder his cousin. He's like, oh, you killed my cousin.
It's
That would have been wild with the
Yeah, I think that goes back to like a little bit
we
like
get season 8 vibes.
right. No. I mean, like, I think that they should. Well, no, there's been a touch. But I think they own it. Yeah, no, I mean, like, but I think that hopefully now that we have kind of arrived in the timeline, you know what I mean, that we'll be able to kind of like ruminate on those things and those things that that is possible to kind of eliminate. in the
So I
story.
brought that up because my question was, now that we've seen like this is officially happening now and like nobody is safe, who do you guys think before the season comes, hopefully, that who's gonna survive this? Like who's gonna be there at the end?
And at the end,
That's
what
what
I
I
see.
the show. Like,
The
who's
show?
gonna make it through the war? Who's gonna make it through the war?
I have to like. I'm not allowed.
I'm gonna also sit out and say that one of the basics makes it.
No, I mean, I think that I don't know. I somehow I see Corliss surviving.
Yeah.
I just kind of do for some reason. Like I mean, like I don't know. I think that he is going to be like active enough, but he's not going to be like out there on the front lines. Like Rhaenys could potentially be in a dragon battle. Like I don't know if she will be or something like that, but that's absolutely in the cards, and that is absolutely
She's activated now,
a combustible situation. And so like I think that him kind of being like I feel like he'll be active within it, and he'll be like more of like a I don't know.
I think Laenor survives. He got nothing to do with this
You
shit
know
anymore.
what? I'm gonna say Laenor lives.
Again, like out in Pentos or something like that. Laenor's just popping open like the daily fucking pen toss or whatever. It's like, holy shit!
Yeah, like no, Sean, look, it's
Whoa!
it's Carl who actually survived. Carl with a Q.
Carl with a Q. Carl with a Q.
At the crib, feel like, man, Westeros is wild.
Right.
You know, all right, I'm on board for Cole surviving. However, like this is a guy who like he's called the sea snake. He looks cool as hell, and then he gets like a almost death off scene. He's like, I don't know, you got a fever. Right. And I'm like, what the fuck? I want that. I want to see him be more badass.
Well, we wanted to see that. We wanted to see that scene. You know,
I
a cold
want to see
open
him
with that
have
would have
like
been great.
that scene where Damon like it comes, you know, with the crab feeder's head. I want that from Corliss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'll back that. But now apparently because you have to have like somebody has to be hobbled with a cane in this show at all times. Now Corliss is like kind of giving us a half hysterian where you're just like like whatever. There's a little bit of that going on, but yeah, I don't know. It should be, but I can see him, and then, oh man, I mean, I don't know. I think Allison survives. Allison is gonna survive, but lose like almost everything. Like I think that this whole thing that she's been like told by her fucking dad, like all of this stuff, like you have to do this to save the children, you have to do this to save, you know, like all that stuff. She's gonna have to give up damn near all of them. It's gonna be very Cersei Lannister-esque. In that way, I could absolutely see that fucking happening. I mean, because now it's going to, it's a fight to the death. And I think that because she's overplayed, the High Towers have maybe potentially overplayed their hand, I think it's going to really be tough for them.
What's up, bud? What's your name? Where you from?
My name is Alex, technically from Carolina.
Fuck that.
North Carolina, but I'm in Chicago for 11
I heard
years.
bad things about people from Alex's name.
I think I have my Chicago card now. Anyways,
Definitely.
this is kind of self-serving, but I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you.
Buddy.
It's been an amazing 10 weeks. 10 weeks. Can you guys believe that? 10 weeks.
Crazy.
Can't believe it,
Already.
bud.
10 weeks.
Bud.
I just want to say thank you. It's been super fun. I've been behind the bar for this, and now on the other side, it's just as fun.
What?
Oh yeah, because now I'm drinking and seeing the show. I remember serving those fire.
Oh, yeah.
So the fire.
We didn't ask you Wikipedia.
Wildfire.
So
We did the fucking
I just want to
Combat
say
combat.
it's been great, and I can't wait to see the next 3 seasons, maybe 5.
3, 4, I think is what we're getting.
4 seasons.
Couple 2 trees.
I just want to say thank you for everybody. And
Excuse me, sir.
Wow.
Did you have a
everyone
question?
here
though?
that came out, thank you very much.
You
guys are the
Hold
best.
on. We didn't know. We asked for a quick Q&A. We're getting a hype man over here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a
Alex.
hype
I
man.
appreciate that.
I'm a big, strong boy. I do it. All
Oh,
right.
this is
All right. I just want to say thank you, and I love everybody here.
Strong boy.
Big, strong boy.
Thank you, bro. You have a question before we leave?
No, I don't. That's all it was.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's the best kind of Q&A, especially when somebody goes like, "Hey, you were dope and this was fun. Talk to you later." It's like,
Oh
you know what I mean?
my
That's my
gosh, we
favorite
got our
kind.
first dog question.
Crouton has a question.
What's Crouton?
Please let Crouton ask us 80 questions.
Sorry, Crouton.
Oh my God. Okay, so we have a question. Okay, what was the significance of the page at the very beginning, and like from the book that they have when they're kids, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, remember what the significance of that?
I don't think it was the actual like words on the page so
Thank you,
much
Crouton, for your
as
question.
it was that
Thank you, Crouton.
Allison had accused Rhaenyra of not knowing the history, and then Rhaenyra was like, "Mitch, I know all this history. I studied it backwards and forwards. I don't need this fucking page." And she like folded it up and handed it back to
She
her.
was like, "Fuck Septa," or shit.
Yeah.
And so like, and Allison held on to that because she was kind of wrong about her friend. At least that's the way I took it, where it's
that seemed like a mea culpa where it's like, hey, I remember,
She's like, "Oh yeah, like I accused you of something before, and I didn't understand who
and
you
I was
were."
wrong.
Also, something that she probably admires about Rhaenyra, like, where because
Yeah.
she tries so hard to be so good for everybody all the time and to do the right thing and all this stuff. And Rhaenyra's like, this is like my little motherfucking family history. Like I live this shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I know this front to back, and that's something that
But
she
also-
probably always was envious of her. In
But
some way.
also for
green with envy.
just
sure.
like on a base level though, if you think about that day where the page ripping happened, they just had a lovely day together. Like Rhaenyra went dragon riding and came and hung out with Allison. They were reading in the Godswood together. And I think she just was like, that page was like, you remember this day? You remember we were friends? Remember like before all this bullshit happened?
when? Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
the
mean,
fact that she kept
it
is
It was
really
it was a
amazing.
little member berry.
It was a little member berry
Have a
for
member
whatever it
berry.
is. Yeah. Oh my God, we're doing like the Fox and Down. We're the best of friends, or whatever it is. Like,
You
yeah.
know what? You know what? It was Allison doing a little fan service.
There we go. A little Allison
I
fan
know you
service.
like
I got
this.
you. Yeah. So I think that's probably what that
Like,
was.
in correlation to that, before the shot that started the war,
Sure.
what do you think Rhaenyra's chances of taking that deal on the bridge from Otto
Honestly,
actually would have been?
They don't exist, bro.
like 40 tickets, 60 don't. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't
there's
I
a
don't think
little
that she.
bit.
I don't
There's
think
a
that-
little
Bro, my pops just like that, and y'all told me like 6 weeks later, bro. Like, if not soon enough. And my younger brother is the king now. Dude, I'm not taking that bitch, bro. Also, like, my uncle husband is a demon.
bit.
His name is a demon. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
she is not taking that bitch, bro, because the fact she got 13 dragons now.
She
Yeah.
was
Yeah, no, she would love the idea to like make
thinking
amends,
about
but
it,
the reality
but it
is,
wasn't gonna happen.
but the reality is, bro, y'all usurping. G.
I think it's like it was like a
My-
60, 65.
I saw my pops. He said, "You the one I believe in."
Right.
Now y'all got another
Yeah.
nigga sitting in my chair, bro. I'm gonna have to get him up out that.
Right. For sure.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. So,
Wait, what's your name? Where you from?
What's your name? Where are you from? I know we know, but
I know we know,
They
but
don't
you
know.
But the internet doesn't, right?
all right. Well,
But they should.
hi. I'm Nick. I'm from the Bronx.
mm,
Oh my God. Okay. So, all right. It's a kind of a two-part question, as usual. So, part one is Vhagar got burned, right? So, is this bitch also missing an eye like a man? Because then,
She a dragon, bro.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Because
would
in
love
hood-
that. I
in hood
wish.
terms, like now he matches his Audi. Well, if
It's always an Audi with you. It's always a New York Audi.
it's always the Audi. It's always the Audi for somebody that does some shit like that. But also, part two of the question would be, is Eamon gonna like dip off and disappear for a minute because he knows he's about to get his ass beat by Allison? So it's like you fucked up, your car's missing a headlight. You gotta go.
Potentially.
Oh my God! When you get it, like that is the longest drive home. Like when the minivan's got a ding and you're just sitting there, just like staring into the middle of nowhere, never. Yeah, absolutely.
Potentially.
I never thought about that. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do that with Vhagar, but that would be awesome.
That'd
Like
be tight as
if
fuck.
like the dragon had one eye and Aemond had.
That's a big ass sapphire you're replacing that eye
I
with,
would
though.
know, but Aemond would, and it would be amazing. I love that. I don't think they're gonna.
I
do
wonder. That would be
but
amazing.
I want them to.
To the point that it was kind of almost that it was maybe even slightly injured or they're both
Yeah.
maybe scarred or something like that. I think could maybe
That's-
potentially be something. I
that shit
think
would
that's
be-
powerful enough. It would be amazing if it was like 1-to-1. Yeah, and then like
I just need one scene with like the dragon like talk being translated where she was like, "Well, I had a black rider, I had 2 eyes." It was like shit changed, bro.
Yeah.
But no, hey, his Audi might be missing a headlight. Maybe it got 2.
and then to the Aemon thing, as far as like Aemon possibly like being nervous about coming back, that he is like Aemon is like he's a badass and he studies and he does CrossFit and like he's fucking super cool or whatever, but like he is also like a fucking nerd. And like he's gonna come back and report to mommy because like he's the one who takes stuff really seriously, and I should be the one on the throne, and like I'm actually the one that should be there, and like all that stuff. I think he's gonna go straight back, even though he's gonna hate it. But I could see him.
No, I think he's gonna go back, and he's like on the way because at first he's like fuck,
Right.
and on the way he's like,
I gotta see my milk.
you got. Oh my god, I can't, that's later. We'll talk about that later. But no, I think he's just gonna be like, you're gonna have to lean into this, and you're gonna have to own it, and you're like, he's gonna come up with a whole plan of why actually it was a great thing what I did. He's going to have a whole spiel by the time he gets back there.
The thing that he has going for him is that like he is their most capable. He is their
That's
nuclear
true.
bomb.
That's
Like
true.
so, like, and I don't know if he. I mean, I think he does realize it, but I mean, at this point, he is the only thing that they have against that.
That
I think
Christian
that's
Cole
fair.
though.
Well,
yeah, they got
Crispy. He's airborne for
Crispy's
sure.
got a body count too.
That's
true.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Like, so
He's
they
got,
have
like,
4
apparently
kills
a body
already.
count that doesn't matter. Also,
they
that's
have
the other
2
fucking
people
thing.
that's like actively like on bullshit. But either way, it's bitch nigga activity.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess they kind of have Laris too, who also has a body count.
Right,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
absolutely.
Laris will burn you,
He's been
but-
counting a lot of body
Himself.
parts, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But I also
Absolutely.
think Eamon's gonna
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, thank you so
But
much.
also no, like listen, if you own the only nuclear bomb, because like the dragons are all great and powerful, but Vagar's Vagar, and I think Eamon will be on his way home and be like, well, what are they gonna do to me? I own the bomb.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm the guy. Like I'm
So who's
the
gonna
thing.
yell at me? Who's
Yeah,
gonna,
I can't even control it.
You're
is
gonna
Otto
control it.
gonna yell at me?
It'll only be his like sense of it'll only be in how seriously he takes himself
Yeah.
and the whole and their whole thing. I think that'll kind of be what it is. I mean, that's the kind of monster that we're dealing with here.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi, my name is Jenny Lee. I'm from the Burlington.
I've seen you on the internet. It's so nice to meet you.
What's going on, Jenny Lee?
You may also have seen me on the TV show House of Dragons. I play Rhaenys.
Right. Goddamn right.
Book
But
accurate.
with
book
canon correct hair.
with book correct hair. So first of all, I don't think that they're going to take Vagar's eye because we can't have both of them up there with no depth perception, just like
Yeah, a little rough.
not being able
They
to
could
see
take
like, how
opposite
far
eyes or
they are
something,
from
yeah.
things. And also, okay, so actual question. I don't understand what happened or what was said. Maybe I missed something. When Daemon choked Rhaenyra, which I agree reminded us, because I've been like, why didn't we like Daemon? I feel like Daemon's great. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He's a completely gray, like shit character who is like, who makes bad boy decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was choking her, and then she goes, he didn't tell you, did he? And I was like, didn't tell what? What are they talking about? What
Is it about the prophecy?
Yeah, about that. The
About the Song of
prophecy,
Ice and Fire.
Song of Ice and
So
Fire.
Daemon, so like a Song of Ice and Fire isn't like known in the
Passed to
Targaryen.
your heir.
No, it's
passed only to heirs. Only
Yeah, from
people
kings
who
to
know.
heirs.
see.
Why it was such a big deal, which is
Okay.
also even though that's something, even though like you don't want to like really come off crazy or whatever it is, like you don't want to sound like a fucking like Westeros Alex Jones or whatever it is, like it's like I'll tell you, there's gonna be like a big like ice Darth Maul that's gonna come try to kill us all, ladies and gentlemen, over here on InfoWars, or whatever, like all that, like you can't. But they would be better to do that though. I think like to for everyone to know.
It's
You know
kind
what I
of
mean?
like when fucking Aemon went and stole Vagar. It's like, I'm sorry, they didn't have a thing. A parent has never died and then left a dragon for somebody to claim. Like there wasn't a sort of like thing set. Like, hey, we maybe should have come up with a plan for this scenario.
Oh no, I mean like
Here's the thing is with dragons, again, it comes back all the time, and they showed it in this episode where the 2 dragons were not obeying their riders.
Right.
A dragon is not a slave.
They've got a mind of their
So
own.
you cannot like do, it's not property where you can be like, I bequeath Vagar to blah, blah, blah. Now,
But
Sure, but there may be sort of
but
like-
you can set up a play date though.
You
like,
could,
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm
it.
saying. Like, there's maybe a thing where it's like, okay, so a day after the parent dies, the next child gets a chance.
Give it a
gets
shot. We're gonna give it a
at
shot,
Yeah,
right.
they
exactly.
should
That's how you
try.
take it. No,
So,
that-
but okay, so Damon was choking her because he was like, he told you, you little bitch. Like, what is
No,
that?
I actually am a little bit confused. I'm assuming that Damon has had a history with his brother whenever Damon wants to like actually like take control, where he's like, hey brother, you need to stop with the conciliatory.
and he would tell him no.
And he'd be like, no, there's prophecy, there's a bigger meaning. Basically, Viserys was a long night pilled, and Daemon was sick of hearing about it, even though he didn't tell him exactly the prophecy. And I think Daemon, it's that whole thing like, oh, you've been on the fucking YouTube again, like your father. And like,
Oh wait, so you're the one that's been sending me those chain link emails and shit like that from
So then,
right?
like,
I
from
think,
USAPatriot.gov or whatever.
Like most like violence or anger, it's all rooted in fear. And I think that for a second Daemon saw Viserys in Rhaenyra and he's like, not you too, and he was doing a bad thing, which is a horrible thing to do, but like it comes from a place of fear. And in his head he's like, I'm gonna really let her know,
Choke the Alex
don't
Jones
fuck
out of
around
you.
with this shit. It will kill you because like it killed your fucking father.
So do you think-
we dither at our peril. essentially.
Exactly.
But so
Alright,
do you
yeah.
think that choking caused a rift in the Damon Rhaenyra
I
relationship.
hope, like, if Rhaenyra
Right.
has,
I
if
fucking
Rhaenyra
hope
has
so.
some
Like-
self-esteem, I mean, I hope it would.
Right.
Like,
Okay, cool.
Again,
Thanks,
it
love you
wasn't the
guys.
good
Bye.
kind. It wasn't. Thank you very much, Shirley.
Listen,
It wasn't the
listen,
cool kind of choke.
Dustin,
Like, it wasn't like
Dustin
there was.
could choke me and have a good reason behind it, but he still choked me, and we still have like some words.
We'll unpack all that later.
But yeah, there's no scenario where, like, even if I'm like, oh man, you were going through some shit, man, like, and I understand you were in it was a hot, feelings were high, it was crazy, your brother just died, whatever, you still choked me. So, like, yeah, there's no
turning back from that. But also, I think that like Damon always saw Viserys as weak, and in that moment, I think he was lashing out at Rhaenyra because he was seeing her as weak in that small council moment where he was like, no, we need to be fucking like kicking some ass and like taking some dragons and like laying waste to shit. And
she's like, there's a bigger purpose, there is prophecy, there is this, and he's like, that's Viserys talk.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't choke.
How's it going? What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello, I'm Maya. I'm from Washington.
Hello. Maya from Washington. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, visiting my sister here. So I was wondering, because the White Worm kind of had some like weird, mysterious off-screen death, maybe not death. Right. I was wondering what you thought, who you thought might fulfill the Master of Whispers.
So the question was about the White Worm possibly dying because we know that her place was on fire at the end of last
We
episode.
saw that
Which
her
again,
house-
also like Larry's is like a really boring like murderer. Like
Okay.
just like
So I'm gonna
what do
stop
I gotta do?
Sean
I gotta
right
light
now.
a fire. I'm just gonna light
I'm
a
gonna go in some details. 'Cause I know Sean and Morgan are on two different sides of the whole Laris thing. So upon rewatch, there's some really interesting things that happen with the Laris character, who is sometimes actually has some interesting things about him. So if you noticed, he was playing like 3D chess in that he basically sold out the White Worm to both Alicent and Otto in very different ways. He sold out to Alicent by saying, like, your dad knew about this.
Right.
And he still kept her in place.
Right.
And then he actually sold it out to Otto in a different way. It was like he was basically like got the information. Then he sold out her little minions to Alicent. So there's a bunch of like weird nefarious stuff that was kind of going on behind the scenes in that. So I think if anything, I have a theory that Laris kept her alive.
I don't know if he kept her alive, but she definitely didn't die.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead. I think that like he still finds use for her. And so he's actually kind of like, so it's weird. He's kind of using her, but also selling her out at the same time.
Or he burnt her place and he doesn't need to like produce a skull or anything. He's just like, what do you want? I held up my end of the bargain. Her place is on fire. And like, she can still slip away. Like, it's
I haven't seen the last of her.
No, this is Song of Ice and Fire.
They wouldn't accurate her off screen.
No.
Unless
we see a head on a pike. We're like the story. We're
and
not.
Even then, with like faceless men,
who the fuck knows? Right?
knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's not. I don't know if that we're in that point, but yeah, I think that like there's definitely like I think we haven't seen the last of her.
Definitely.
To answer your question.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we got one more.
Hey, I'm Ilya. I'm from Chicago.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you.
So this is actually a question about the prophecy, a Song of Ice and Fire, a series of books that you can read. The question is, is it really fitting for the show to mention this as a prophecy that it was always destined to be? Because this kind of a point of contention. Like I don't think it's very fitting for the show with this prophecy, because even like within the context, when Viserys tells Rhaenyra about the prophecy, she should have gone, "Oh, you mean the Long Night?" Because it is known that the legend of the Long Night and the others, aka White Walkers, she should have gone, "Oh, so the Long Night was real," but she doesn't say that.
Well, I think that as we saw when like Sam went to the Maesters in Old Town, he's like, "No, I saw others," and they're like, "Well, we all know it is." Fact that the Long Night happened because there are like too many differing recountings of it that all match up. So they're like, so the Maesters have already in this world like laid out that the Long Night is real. Even the Maesters who hate magic and hate magical stuff.
They do.
So I think for Rhaenyra, she wouldn't go, oh, it's real. She'd be like, no, I mean, like, we all learn it's real because, like, the Maesters say so.
Yeah, but
it's written down.
We learned it in like second grade, you know.
And I
for
think
sure.
I think what the actual prophecy is that the second coming of the Long Night will come again. Now, I have a controversial opinion because I don't think that they're referring to that one episode in Game of Thrones because that doesn't make any sense.
Which that's good. Well, that means that I think because we're also talking about the snow show, which is
I know,
apparently
and I don't
happening.
even know, like, the snow
which
show.
I think it's going to be like retcon motherfucking city with some of that shit. You know,
yeah, I think that but this whole big prophecy on a knife that lasted hundreds and hundreds of years.
But we saw it in 2 different shows.
Yeah, I am like, that can't be about one night of one
bad night.
One bad night.
Right, like,
Two
like,
bad you know what they made?
Like a
They
one
made,
bad
they made
night.
like 4 Hangover movies, so I think it's totally like
Yeah.
reasonable.
So I'm of the opinion that, like, you know, the Night King thing was kind of like a little battle, a like red herring, a coming of something to come.
What?
To me.
What about like that like castle like that they were hanging out in like season 4 or whatever when they're chilling and they're turning like the fucking like the baby like what's that place? Like where the fuck is that?
I'm just like,
I think there's gonna be some weird stuff that they could get into.
I feel like the Aegon's prophecy makes more sense than the episode of where they kill the Night King. So I kind of
it's a little messy. It's a show invention that like is not in the books and stuff like that.
But no, George is like, no, I was always like, well, this is George, you know. He was like, I was always going to put it in Wins a Winner. You're going to find out Wins a Winner anyway. It's fine. Because all of this is like George's co-signing.
Yeah.
And he might also be kind of retcon it.
Right.
But it's just kind of like,
oh, you didn't like that?
no, honestly, it does with Targaryens. The problem that a lot of us have with them is that they, they're colonizers. They invaded a country and like, they weren't the first, the Andals like, decimated the children. So they're not the first ones to fuck up the 7 kingdoms, but yes, they just invaded and were like.
That's why the Targaryens don't want the Long Night to happen because like they're cutting in on our action.
I
over
know,
there,
and so I'm kind of like, it does give them a little bit more of like, we're not here just to like take control and steal all your money. We're also here to save you.
literal Westeros' white savior. like thing, like, oh god. No, I think that we'll have to kind of see how it shakes out and kind of how they express it. I think it was kind of also sort of it was like a way in which they wanted to imbue purpose to both like a really
try to fix the season 8.
What's that?
Try to fix season 8.
In some ways, I mean, honestly,
give
in
more
some ways.
purpose.
I mean, it would be better. It would be better if the Battle of Winterfell was not the Long Night.
The Long
that's
Night.
like one night. I'm sorry. It's supposed to last a generation. Like mothers supposed to like smother their babies.
And also, we never got fucking ice spiders as big as goddamn hounds, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, until there's a fat lady singing, and then there's the fucking ice spiders big as hounds showing up. Absolutely. So I think we got time.
Thank you for the comment.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Like, I think we have time for one more, and then we're gonna call it. It's that bad motherfucker over there. What's going on? Your name, where you're from?
Corey from Garden Grove, California.
Hell yeah, man. Hey. Oh, we got Callie. We got East and West out here. Good to see you, babe. What you got?
So I got a statement and a question.
Oh, geez.
Is Rhaenys, everything in the show, she stole every scene.
Yeah.
She should have been queen.
Yep.
When war starts going, she says, I'm going to get my fucking dragon. I'm
Yep.
going to go take this area. She showed everyone, like, not only how smart she is, but she also takes care of everything. I just MVP ahead of time.
Love her.
So just doing that. My
Same.
question, do you think that Larry's is going to go for the Riverlands and try to rename the fingers the toes?
Wow. You were sitting on that one for a while.
Hey,
I love it.
Hey, that was special delivery all the way from motherfucking California for that joke. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
All the way
I
here.
have to say, pinky toe doesn't have the same ring as little finger. That's where Peter Baelish is from. He's from the fingers.
He's from the
so
fingers,
if it was called
yeah.
the toes, I feel like
And Larry just so it's like, it's such a lame name. It'd be so much better if it
would
was
be
the
like
toes.
pinky toe.
Right,
Could
absolutely.
you imagine? Like he'd be like a Pinkerton.
Oh my God, absolutely. All right, well, I don't think that we are going to be able to do much better than that. The only thing is I can say is I just want to say that, we had Game of Thrones has been like a big part of this bar, big part of my life. It's the reason that I kind of know all three of these people that I consider like dear friends. It's the reason that I've met all of you and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was, 2020 was a weird thing, and you kind of didn't know what we were going to get back. We didn't know what was going to come back and be the same. I think a lot of things, we can all agree that a lot of things need to change about this world, but we got to keep hold of like some of the things, some of the good stuff. And this is some of the good stuff, and you guys are part of the good stuff. And I just want to say that we appreciate y'all so much. Dustin, Morgan, Emil. We can't thank you guys enough. Hopefully early 2024. Early 2024. Like maybe right when the thaw happens, like April or something like that, April, May or some shit like that. Who knows? In Chicago, it'll probably still be fucking snowing and shit like that or whatever. But I think it's when we'll be back. But we're gonna be doing a bunch of other stuff. If you guys haven't heard, we also do on Wednesdays. We are doing American Horror Story screenings with Richie, which is also fantastic. Also in February, we're gonna be doing around February, we're gonna be doing Mandalorian season 3. So if you guys want to hang out, and watch the Baby Yoda show with us and shit like that, and that adorable thing, something that's going to be nowhere near, I guarantee that we won't have it, Dustin, to your point, we're not going to have as many like squelching, like really visceral bursts.
No miscarriage. I'm going to quote, you can quote me on this, there'll be no miscarriage.
There will be no Mando miscarriages like in that thing. But we're going to be doing that, so just make sure that you guys keep an eye out for that. Those have been a ton of fun and shit like that. So.
Sean, bro. And Last of Us was definitely something like
Last of Us could be fucking
for
sick.
sure.
Yeah.
But like I just gotta say, like this is my first like season of like a Game of Thrones like production that like I've actually like not only been a part of in a very like real way, from not only like people like coming to this bar, but people watching the podcast. I found this shit in 2018 on YouTube. I found this bar. They would like play episodes while I was watching Game of Thrones for the first time and shit. And I would see this cool dude with a tank top and this lovely lady with green hair and this very like charismatic gentleman with like glasses and very like always very fashion forward outfits that would like always, you know what I'm saying, they would be interesting. There's also a couple big titty chicks on the screen too. But like as far as the ones where I was like I could point them out off the rip, I'm being honest, these are the people that like, you know what I'm saying, I definitely like resonated with, gravitated towards. And like just to go from like being in my house randomly watching YouTube to like, you know what I'm saying, running into like Morgan and Dustin at Cole's to like, you know what I'm saying, them allowing me to come through and meet Sean and being a part of all this for season 8. And to now we like here where I'm like a part of the first season of a new Game of Thrones show for people. Like this was probably easily the craziest episode I've worked in. Like my face probably showed it. But like without question, like, you know, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Sean. I appreciate the Draces for not only allowing me to be here, but for allowing me to meet these beautiful people that are in front of us. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys very much, man. We appreciate you. Season 2, we'll see you in season 2, and we'll see you for Mando. Like when we start doing Mando screening. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you, Internet.
I love it when everyone gets small.
Thank you.